So new data out in Atlanta is saying that a person born into poverty in the Atlanta area has only a 4% chance of escaping it. 4% chance of getting out of poverty if you're born into it in Atlanta. And I found this interesting and wanted to share it simply because I've been to Atlanta a couple of times now. And when it comes to black wealth, at least what looks to be black wealth, um, it's this just surprises me a bit coming out of Atlanta, because when I see people, when I've been to Atlanta and I've seen all of the people out there that look like they got some real money, it surprises me that the chances for those living nearby that are in poverty only have a 4% chance of getting out. So I had to share this. On some level, I guess I shouldn't be surprised, right? There's a high concentration of African Americans in Atlanta, so I guess my question would be, how many? What's the wealth? What's like the wealth spread out there, right? Like how many wealthy folks are out there versus how many people in poverty are out there. I'd guess that on the other end, it'll be quite surprisingly high, my guess. But nevertheless, this was a very interesting story. Wanted to share it. If you're in Atlanta, we'd love to hear your thoughts. If you're watching from Atlanta, or if you are from Atlanta, may not be living in Atlanta currently, still want to hear your thoughts. And even if you're not, I want to hear your thoughts. All right. So y'all let me know what y'all think. It's Ricky Rich with Black Primacy. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications.
Thank you so much. Well, new at 5 o'clock, the city of Atlanta has long been ranked as one of the top cities for income inequality.
The financial disparity between white and black households has been a concern for quite some time. 11 Alive's Naima Abdullahi shows us what the divide looks like for longtime Atlanta residents who face the issues at hand.
In Atlanta, somewhere between prosperity and poverty is the economic divide, like right here in the West End.
53 years, the neighborhood has changed. The rent has skyrocketed. There you go.
Marlo Nash comes from humble beginnings.
Grew up on Cleveland Avenue for a lot of years, single parent household. Oftentimes she would have to work double shifts.
He's now a successful professional chef and culinary entrepreneur, but he realizes not everyone in Atlanta gets a chance to reach their full potential.
People did not have access to chase dreams. A lot of times people didn't even have dreams.
A reality reflected in the data showing Atlanta is the #1 city in the country for income inequality, with the median household income for a black family being $28,000 compared to $83,000 for a white family, according to the Atlanta Wealth Building.
That is wild. That is a wild. That is 3 times. That's 3 times. Am I tripping? 3 times the wealth. And like I said in the beginning, when I visited, like I've never done any study per se on Atlanta. When I visited, there seemed to be a lot of well-off African Americans out there. From an entrepreneurial perspective, y'all know we have the Black Business Directory with Black Primacy, and there is a lot of Black entrepreneurs legally listed in Atlanta. which doesn't surprise me. It never surprised me. But seeing these numbers and hearing this, new data and statistics, this is kind of blowing my mind a little bit. Again, I physically saw what looked to be a pretty healthy community of African Americans, at least looking to be doing well. I see the data when I am dealing with businesses out in Atlanta for the Black Primacy app, and it just nothing is adding up. This is blowing my mind a little bit. That the disparity can be this big. But y'all let me know what y'all think.
Initiative.
Probably do the best they can.
Shirley Richards lives in the West End and feels that divide.
It's a lot of changes. The rent is extremely high, and it's keep going up.
She says for many families, budgets are limited.
Well, you got to have about 2 jobs nowadays. One job don't do it.
Alex Comadel, VP of Research and Policy of the Atlanta Wealth Building Initiative, explains what Shirley Richards and many longtime Atlanta residents are facing in the city. For example, if you're born into poverty in the city of Atlanta, you have a 4% chance of escaping it.
We need to understand and disrupt kind of the barriers that are locking folks into the lower rungs of the economic ladder.
Black households make up 48% of the city's households, but they only own just 17% of the city's housing wealth.
It's something that we've been
That
grappling
one doesn't
with
surprise
for
me.
a very long time. And the solutions that have been introduced to address the statistic have largely failed.
Over a third of Black people in the city of Atlanta have zero or negative net worth.
The wealth of white households is 46 times what it is for Black households in this city.
You know, I like.
For Marlo Nash, he's an example of that 4% success, a percentage he hopes can grow larger over time.
For me, it's been passion over profits. I still have to pinch myself sometimes for all the things I've been able to do.
But the economic divide is felt in communities like the historic West End, where hometown pride
Born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia.
Grady
Yes, ma'am.
meets reality.
I don't think people of color can. Some of them can afford that kind of financially.
In West End, Naima Abdullahi, 11 Alive News.
Yeah, I don't like to see it. I don't like to see it. Y'all let me know. Am I tripping at all? Those of you, maybe not so many. Those of you who have lived or live in Atlanta, but those of us who have visited Atlanta, I've gotten to feel that people in Atlanta got some money. Right now, rich and wealthy and looking rich, they're completely different things. I understand that. But just the amount of people that are presenting to have some decent level of economic ability out in Atlanta it just seems to be high comparatively speaking, and these numbers are just not saying that. Now, I mean, maybe I'm looking at it incorrectly. I don't know. Maybe I guess I was more in the tourist area. I was downtown. The first time I went out there, I stayed in Douglasville, which is just outside of Atlanta. And it was still like the neighborhood I was in out there was a solid, upper middle class neighborhood, nice houses. I feel like I've seen more what looks to be wealth than not on my visits out there. Again, maybe I haven't been out there enough and I haven't stayed out there enough. That could be it as well. and maybe I'm thinking maybe because there's so many African Americans in Atlanta that the number of seemingly wealthy ones are going to visually be higher for someone like me in California, where the black population is not as high as Atlanta, right? And the wealthy black population is definitely not as high as Atlanta. So maybe that's what it is. Just just visually for me, when I see the difference going to another city or state, it just looks different comparative to what I'm used to. But that may not always mean that it's better. Well, it clearly doesn't mean that it's better. Um, it's terrible, terrible statistic. I don't even know where to begin, because my main goal with pushing African Americans further and helping close the wealth gap is facilitating, promoting, highlighting black entrepreneurship. And like I said, through my, I don't even want to call it research, just through my dealings with thousands of black-owned businesses in Atlanta, um, I've seen a lot of entrepreneurs getting after it in Atlanta. So it's very hard for me to, like, my my job, I would say, it's not done, but my job is like it's there in Atlanta. I just, just working with what's out there. So I don't really know how else to push this forward from my end. You know, I don't know. Y'all, let me know what y'all think though. This is kind of eye opening to me. I definitely going to be looking deeper into it, and you know, it's just interesting. Interesting. I didn't expect this coming out of Atlanta. But y'all let me know what y'all think. All right, it's Ricky Rich with Black Primacy. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications.